Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of One Piece manga chapter 838, Proper. And very, very hyped for this one. I really, really liked Cracker. Cracker is the hypest part of this, yes. I was expecting him to just sort of be scrub, skipped leg day, giant One Piece generic character, but we actually got to see some really cool stuff out of him this week. So the cover for the chapter has Shanks and Ben Beckman at some sort of church on some island with a bunch of cacti, and it says that they're actually at a wedding. And somebody, again, sorry I forgot the name, but I'll bring it up in the hot Q&A when I'm reading the comments there. But there was somebody who said, it's probably Lucky Roo's wedding, because we didn't see him in either of the two things. And yeah, I think you have a very good chance of being right, because Lucky Roo is is probably the only important member of Shanks' crew that we didn't see here. I mean, one of the three big name crewmates with Ben Beckman and Yaesop from Shanks' crew, but we didn't see Lucky Roo here, so I guess maybe it is his wedding. And who's he getting married to? Is it one of Big Mom's daughters? But seriously, I have no idea. But I do find it interesting, and I find it interesting that they didn't tell us more. I mean, I don't know why Oda isn't telling us more, so I guess if he's not telling us more, it's got to be kind of important, I suppose. But, or maybe it's something not even related to the red-haired pirates, and we're looking into it in the wrong way. I don't know. But either way, I see a lot of people that think it's Baltigo, and no, it doesn't look a thing like Baltigo. Not the buildings, not the cacti. Where were there? I don't remember there being any cacti on Baltigo. So, no. I think people try to connect every little thing to the revolutionaries. And again, my personal opinion, people are going to disagree and hate. The revolutionaries are scrubs, except Sabo. Sabo is really strong, and I do like some of the revolutionary characters, but when it comes to it, in the end, I feel like they're scrubs. I don't know, not a big fan of the revolutionaries. I think Dragon is one of the most overrated and lame characters in all of One Piece. So, yeah, I don't think people need to connect every single thing to the revolutionaries, because the revolutionaries are not connected to every single thing. Yeah. So, moving on into the actual contents of the chapter, we have Cracker getting back up after getting hit by the Kong gun, which awesome, and I'm glad he is getting back up and wasn't one-shot by that, because it'd be hella lame if he was one-shot by that. But Luffy goes in again with another Kong gun, and Cracker goes in as well with another pretzel roll. But Luffy's attack wins, and he punches straight through Cracker's body, or so we think. So then somebody comes out of the body and slices through Luffy's arm, which I thought was pretty incredible to note that he sliced through Luffy's armamentaki in Gear 4th. That's a pretty incredible feat. But we find out that it's the real Cracker, and he looks really, really cool. I really like the design. It actually looks like a normal person, not a giant person with tiny little legs like we see way, way too often in One Piece. And it's a really shitty design that keeps coming back. But, yeah, I'm really, really happy with what we saw in Cracker's actual real design. He looks really cool with the cape on one arm, with the scar on his right eye. He's got the giant sword compared to his body size. And we find out that his devil fruit is the bisque fruit. So he pretty much, and it's kind of, he can create biscuits and mold them into whatever shape he wants. So it's kind of a weird stretch of a devil fruit, but it's whatever. It's what it is. So it's really cool that, like he said, he makes a bunch of different Cracker armors behind him, and he's like, I'll give you credit, Luffy. You actually saw my real body. That's a really rare occurrence. Even if you look at my wanted poster, it's a picture of my armor. It's not an actual picture of me. So that's pretty incredible. But I thought it was interesting that he's like, you got pushed to your limit by one of my armors that I can essentially make infinite of. And again, that shows how strong he is for that massive ass bounty that Luffy is in Gear 4th, wheezing after just fighting an armor that he can clearly make a shit ton of. So, I really, really like it, and it adds way more hype. So then Luffy actually goes in at him with a move that they call the Kong Organ, but they also say that the kanji reads as Murder of Crows Cannon, and I'm like, Murder of Crows Cannon is a way better name. Why not just call it that? Because like most of Luffy's Gear 4th moves are named after animals and stuff. So Murder of Crows Cannon seems to fit more than just calling something else Kong insert word here. So yeah, so the naming and translation of that was a bit odd to me. And I don't even know if it was the translation. Maybe it's the actual naming that's odd. But yeah, so he goes in with that. Cracker uses all of his armors to block and rushes in with a move called Honey Pretzel, and then we cut away from that. So not seeing the results yet. I've heard some people thinking that maybe Luffy was saved by Jinbei or one of his other allies. Possible, but we don't know how it went yet. Maybe he was even captured and that could be something else to progress the story. I don't exactly see that happening, but it could progress the story in an interesting way if it did. So we do see Nami with Lolo's Viver card, like sort of scaring the homies into place and stuff. That was pretty funny or whatever. We see Carrot and Bropper, what she calls Chopper. So we see them in the mirror world, and the mirror world's really, really cool looking. It looks, like I said in the live reaction, it sort of reminds me of the Bazaar Room from Alice in Wonderland, or at least the cartoon version or whatever. It reminds me of the Bazaar Room. And it's connected, apparently, Chopper says, to every mirror in Whole Cake. So he's like, why don't we just use Brulee's power against her? Why don't we, like, take this opportunity and we just find a mirror and use that? And I think that's really good, like, really good, because then imagine we're with Sanji in a chapter or two, and then Carrot and Chopper just pop out of one of the mirrors at Sanji. It's really cool, and it's awesome that Chopper thought of that and had that really good plan in mind. Now, wherever they need to be, or even if they need to meet up with, say, what was her name? Pudding, or with Pedro and Brooke, they can just pop out of a mirror there. Like, they have a lot of... Brulee kind of backfired on herself. They have a lot of opportunity here. Also, we do get to see Pedro and Brooke. And Pedro and Brooke have snuck inside of this hollow biscuit soldier. And Pedro says the soldiers, like, go about their rounds, and then they're stored in the castle when they're, like, off of their rounds. So he's like, so all we have to do is sit in here and wait. We can Trojan horse the shit out of them. And once we're inside the palace, we can just pop out, and we're inside. Our infiltration mission is as good as done if we take our opportunity right. So we see Big Mom again prepping for the wedding and talking about the cake and everything. And it's interesting to me that she's talking with her hat, and her hat is telling her, oh yeah, this is where these people are, this is what's going on with this. It's like the hat is her steward, or her, like, brains of her operation. And again, like I've thought a lot, Big Mom seems kind of, oh, this is gonna sound really freaking bad for me to say this, but she seems kind of fat and stupid. And I feel terrible saying that, especially about a Yonko, but, like, she doesn't seem like much of a physical threat, and she also doesn't seem like much of a mental threat. Even though she has this great information network, it's like she's sort of a figurehead with a really, really useful devil fruit, but without that really, really useful devil fruit, and without all the actual useful people working for her, she would be pretty useless. Like, she wouldn't be able to do anything for herself. It seems like her power comes from her crew and her family, and how they all have their own skills and are very good at their own things and can work together in interesting ways. But if it was just her herself without any of the smart people working under her, she wouldn't be very good at what she does. She seems a bit dim. So, yeah, I think this showed even more of that to me, where I think that maybe Big Mom isn't very smart, and maybe she needs the hat to be the brains of her operation, and maybe she needs useful people like Perospero or Cracker or her other subordinates to actually do important things for her, because and that's why she needs this big crew and this family and all the homies and everything, because she herself is kind of a weak link. Not a weak link, that's a bad way to put it, but she herself is not very useful. Her strength comes in her numbers and connections. And then lastly, finishing off, we see the Germa Kingdom again. We see Judge and Yonji and Reiju. Then we see Sanji shivering with fear, dropping some of the ashes from his cigarettes, which I thought was really, really good, and it added a lot of good emotion to the scene, which I think is important to add emotion. And he is seeing the arrival of Ichiji and Niji, sparking red Ichiji and electric blue Niji, and I think it's interesting to note that a lot of people thought that Sanji was going to be blue, so it's interesting to see that he isn't, that blue is actually Niji. So if they gave Sanji a name like that, I guess maybe it would be something to do with the color black, maybe, or even yellow, but still, that's kind of off the point. They're Power Rangers. Yeah, I really like that, and I'm interested to see their powers, especially Ichiji. Not a big fan of Niji or his design, but Ichiji looks really cool to me. And yeah, that's it. That's where we leave off. So as for this chapter, the fight, Luffy and Cracker fight, for the past 2 chapters, absolutely amazing. I love it so much. And I really wasn't expecting Cracker to have a good design hidden inside of the body. It was surprising, it was a good reveal, it was a good fight, and it really built hype for how friggin' strong he is as a character. Now also, and sorry about this noise behind me, of course as soon as I'm recording somebody's around the neighborhood's going to decide to cut their grass. But yeah, hold on, what else? I thought story-wise we made a lot of progress. Niji coming in to make Whole Cake great again. But yeah, we made a lot of progress. I thought the fight was awesome. It was nice jumping around and seeing all the different groups and just sort of checking in with them so that we can't say, oh, we haven't seen them for however many chapters. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Was there anything else I had to say? Oh yeah, the art. The art for the fight was great. Also, the art for the Carrot and Chopper stuff I really liked. I like the thematic styles we're going through here with the art. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to give this one 9 Sweet Commanders out of 10 because I thought it was a hell of a good chapter. Not perfect or anything, and not incredibly emotional, but it was very strong and very good story-wise. Also, we're going to be on break next week, which I think a lot of us have been expecting because we haven't taken a break in a while. So like every single week we're expecting, oh, break is going to be this week, and it hasn't been until now, so no problems there. So yeah, we got a week off One Piece. I'll still have the anime review, may or may not have another video up for One Piece during the break, but either way, I'll see you in 2 weeks if you don't watch my anime videos. So like if you did like this video, comment down there and tell me what you thought of the chapter and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more One Piece, both anime and manga, and a ton of other anime and manga. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there on things. Just try to keep you updated, like when I post anything, when I push anything back, or have to reschedule anything, if an emergency or something comes up, stuff like that. If I don't have time to make a video to tell you about what's going on, I will at least be able to tweet out and tell you there. So yeah, that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.